Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this NTI Live episode. This is NTI Live 6. I'm your host, Noah Tech Info. And today we are going to be installing 3CX version 18 V5. Now, 3CX has very recently updated their V18 version of 3CX. And it now includes WhatsApp and things like that. Which is all really cool, but we're actually not looking at that today. We're only going to install it. But just if some people are a little bit confused whether it will change the install or not, it won't. But we'll just go for it anyway, just to give out a demonstration. And plus, it's a new series. 3CX V18 is coming now to NTI, so that's cool. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome in the chat, please. Can we get a welcome? Can we get a hi? Can we get a hello? I can't seem to find my phone anywhere. But that's alright. Actually, it's not. Never mind. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So, you can see we are in the 3CX install screen. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be walking you through the 3CX V18 install. And I'm going to be showing you what to do and what it does if we're not using it. But we'll still tell you what it does anyway. So, if that makes any sense. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. You can see my cursor's now just come into view. But we're not going to be needing that. So, as you can see, we're at the 3CX install screen. This is running on my hypervisor if you're interested, hence the arrow over there. And it's Proxmox, by the way, for anyone who's interested. Anyway, enough said. Let's get started. So, first of all, we're going to go to the install. We're obviously going to press the install button, so let's go ahead and do just that. Does appear that the window is quite big, so I will just make that slightly smaller for everyone else to see. Oh dear. Does seem to be a little bit annoying with the whole stream, but that's not very good, is it? Anyway, we're now going to create a host name. This is the first thing I want to do. Now, the host name, as it states, is the name of your computer that will be used when you're on a network. For instance, my PC name is in fact called The Beast. So anyone on my network is going to see my computer as The Beast. So in this case, we're going to call it 3CX V18-NTI. And that will be our host name. So now we can press continue. You can also set up a domain name if you want to, but I'm not going to in this case. But one domain name we could simply use is you could even say something like 3cx.local, but since this is probably for the internet, it'll probably have to be something like 3cx.com or .co.uk, but we're just going to leave it blank for this demonstration. So we can now hit continue. We're going to be choosing our language, which in our case is obviously English, United Kingdom. The keyboard is British English in my case, so we're going to hit OK on that. And now we need to set a root password. So, I'm going to set mine simply for this demonstration as... Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you. You should always keep your password secret. So I'll just make it this. Continue. I'm going to re-enter the password just to verify it with the system and to make sure that it has been typed in correctly. Which in my case it hasn't. There you go, you can make errors. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Right, this is the second attempt now. And there you go. Okay, so now we're going to be partitioning the disk. In our case, we're going to be using guided, use the entire disk. Now, essentially what we're doing here is we're leaving... So, obviously there are three options. The first one is just use the entire disk. That 100% of the disk is going to be used for this install. The other option can be use the entire disk and also set up an LVM. Now, I wouldn't really want to go with an LVM because it can be a waste of space in my opinion. But that's only probably because I've used LVM in other cases. But some people might actually use it to their advantage. I personally would not go with that. Then there's encrypted, which is the encrypted version of the second one. But in our case, we're going to use the entire disk because, come on, we want all 32 gigabytes, don't we? We don't want to have just 10 gigabytes and have 20 used for LVM. That's not cool in my case. So we're going to go with use entire disk. And also just to show, that's the drive we're going to be using, and we're going to have all 25.8 gigabytes worth of it for ourselves, which is lovely. Now we're going to have all files in one partition. We're just going to do that just for the ease of, well, this demonstration. Okay, we can now finish the partitioning, add write change to the disk. Yes. And now it's going to format the drive and install the base system. Fantastic. That's really cool. What have you been up to? Exactly. Oh, I can make this a little bit smaller. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a lot better, isn't it? You know what, let's just center it a little bit. Let's make it a little bit extra bigger. Let's just go the extra mile, because why not? Lovely. Right. Now, while we're doing this, I might as well find my phone. And also ask, how is everyone doing in the comments? And what are you lot thinking about this new series that I'll be releasing for the V18 version of 3CX? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you very much for asking. Okay, there you go. There's the good old Proxmox logo that we all know and love. Okay, so we can now let it boot into the system. Could have pressed enter there, but why? Oh, and the screen has now gone incredibly massive that we can't see a single bloody thing. Isn't that just fantastic? I should really optimize my stream for this type of thing, but oh well. There we go. Okay, so now we have two options. Excuse me there. So, we have the 3CX system, and we have the 3CX SBC, or Session Border Control. Now, we're going to be using the 3CX system, which is basically the main system of 3CX. It's the main, you know, it's just the PBX, essentially. And then there's the Session Border Control, which, from what I can remember, it allows IP phones from remote locations to connect to a remote PBX without the use of port forwarding and without the use of stun. Now, I don't know exactly how it works, because I remember when I was in the 3CX webinar, even they were saying that, you know, apparently I think it's like a trade secret or something, how on earth they do it. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe that's the case. But either way, that will be used if you are remote and you want to connect your IP phones to a 3CX system that is in another location. But obviously, we're not doing that today. We might do that some other time, but not now. So in our case, we're just going to be choosing the 3CX system. Okay, press on that, and it will then begin the installation. My phone isn't here. I just had a Snapchat notification. Did you? It's somewhere. Oh, it's on my radiator. Won't you look at that? Isn't that funny? Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is obviously the license agreement. I'm not going to go through all of this because I'm not some... I'm not really going to be reading this in front of you a lot, but... there you go. Just press tab and click OK on that sucker because, well, we'll accept the consequences. I should probably put my phone on silent. Lovely. Okay, so now we are within the 3CX configuration tool. Now, there are two ways we can do this. Personally, I would go with the web browser. So, for this demonstration, I'm going to be doing the web browser, although we can also do the command line. So, you know what? I'll probably do that in a separate video. But for this one, we're going to be using the web browser as it's pretty much bog standard at this point. And since so many people do it in the web browser, you just might as well go along with it. It's pretty simple. So we're going to hit 1. And now I've been given our IPv4 address. This is local, by the way, not remote, unless you're in the cloud. However, it will most likely be a local IP address. So, in our case, we need to put in to our browser window http://192.168.1.132:5015 and etc. So obviously we have our protocol, the address, and the port number. Now, here's a little tip here. You can have a read of that because I'm not really going to point it out. You know what, I might as well. If your instance is in the cloud but is not owned by 3CX, so say for instance you're on a Google Cloud instance or a Linode instance, better, it would be the better case in this scenario, and it shows you a local IP. Rather than putting the local IP into your address bar on your browser, you would instead put the remote IP or the public IP address. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go to a browser window and let's continue this install. So if I just type this in, (137) or 132? Let's have a quick check of that. 132. Lovely. Okay, and I'll switch my window over, so just allow me a second please while I switch that. Okay. So we now have the the installation. So now we need to put down a license key. I'm not going to be showing you my license key because, well, that's my license key. You go get your own, mate. It's free for a year. So I'll just what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to protect myself a little bit over here. So just give me a second while I find my blocker. Just allow me a second, please. Now I know that looks incredibly bad, but honestly, what more can I do at this point? I'm live streaming. I can't really do any, like fancy filter effects, so we're just gonna go with this and call it a day. So let me go and fetch my license, and I'll be right back. Just checking the playback over here to make sure that nothing is showing. Okay, right, good to go. Let's go grab the license key. If you do want to go get a license key, then just go to the link shown in the install, and you should. Bless me. Bless you, sorry. Yeah, excuse me, rather. Not bless me, excuse me. You should be able to... yeah, sorry about that. You should create a free sex account, and then you can obviously get your license from there. It'll only be valid for a certain amount of time, but I mean, there are ways around. Should be saying that as I'm now a Free Sex Advanced certificate owner and technically a partner of Free Sex, but I'm not. Yeah. I can't seem to find my license key. Nope, never mind, I got it. Right, let's see how well you can actually see that. Cool, you can only see parts of it. That's fine. Alright, we'll now continue. Okay, so... Nope. Now I need to enter a username, so in my case I'm going to call it admin, and a password. Now the password I think in this case has to be a minimum of 10 characters. Which is quite big if you ask me. But what else can I say? Oh, that's my IP address. That's not very good, is it? That has most likely just been seen. That's not very good. That's just shown my IP address. You know what? I'll restart my router after this stream just to make sure that it's not shown. And there's now 8 people watching. That's even worse. That's really bad. Oh, that's really, really bad. That was most likely seen. Thank you, by the way, whoever said bless you. Thank you. I sneezed. Okay. Rule number 1. Just know what's coming up in the install. Oh my god. 8 people were watching momentarily. That's the best part. Okay, just give me a minute, please, while I duplicate this. Wow, that was really, really bloody stupid of me. Okay, well, it's almost pointless now because it's a dynamic IP address, luckily. I mean, if you guys do have my IP, it's not the worst. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? All I have to do is restart my router, and we should be fine. So, I'll just give out a network restart before we continue. And just to make sure that everything is working fine, I'm just going to quickly check that everything is fine within the next window. Okay. I will use a local IP address. Right, let me just quickly censor this real quick, because I don't know what's coming up next. So right now it's currently creating the certificates. DDoS booting info gathering a lot. Why is there eight people just watching? 8 people, hello. I never knew I could get 8 people on this stream. But welcome all. I'm currently just trying to hide sensitive information at this point while there's a black screen in front of you. So yeah, I should have really thought about this before doing this, but I haven't been for a 3.6 install in ages. Anyway, let me go grab a nice... Here. There you go. There's a nice little NTI logo for you there. Isn't that lovely? Alright. Let's just see here. Still currently creating our certificates, as you can see. Oh, don't know what that was. Okay, this part's fine. This part's fine. Okay, so now we're going to... Right, so 4 digits will be our extension length. We could have 5 digits. I'm going to choose 4 digits in this case. So we'll hit next on that. Now I need to enter an email address. I'm just going to simply call it n@n.com for this demonstration, because do I really want to be giving out my personal email address? No, I do not. So that's pretty cool. Also, I do apologize in advance right now for the constant censoring, but at this point I don't know what comes up in the install, and ever since I got that small leak of my IP address, I don't really want to take any more risks, because it's likely that, you know, an address is going to come up very shortly, so I'm going to start taking caution. So allow me just a minute, please. Okay, so now we're going to choose our time zone over here, which in this case is English UK 44. Oh, I never knew countries like I don't even know how to say it, Dominican Republic and Jamaica had 1. They got +1. Even Puerto Rico got well, I don't know. I can't pronounce these names because I'm stupid, but they all have +1. I don't know why that is the case. I thought that was only the US that had that, but nope. Turns out that they have it as well, which is pretty sick if you ask me. But we want United Kingdom, if I can even find it. UN, 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 Ing, KI, KI for kingdom. No. There you go, United Kingdom. Brilliant. That's sweet. Okay. Now we can set our extension number. Well, our first ever extension number. I'm going to choose extension 9000. The first name is going to be NTI. The last name is going to be streaming. The email address is going to be example@test.com. And the voicemail number we're going to leave at *6. Allow me a moment, please, while I censor this next part. Okay. This is one other part. You also need to consider any additional countries that you may be calling, so other than your own one, so Europe, United Kingdom. You could also be calling other countries. In our case, I might also choose places like United States, Canada, and anyone that has +1 on it. Just to show you that you can have more than, one. Allow me a second, please, while I send to the next section. Okay, and in this part we can choose our prompts, which in our case I'm going to be choosing the UK English prompt set, because the American one is just a bit too lively for me. So yeah, and plus it's the standard in my case. Okay, I'm really glad I just managed to censor out this part, but essentially what's happening now is it's now creating my PBX, and my phone number and everything has just showed up in front of the screen, and my full name as well. So I'm definitely keeping this part black. So just allow me a minute while it starts the services and creates the PBX. Wow, that is the most leak. That is... Okay, right. Essentially now we're finished. So we can now go over to the instance. All my information has now been shown here, so that's really cool. But I want the administration console. That's the one. Okay, we are now in. So we're now in the dashboard. I'm not going to show you the main dashboard as all my IP address and stuff is all shown there. So I'm not going to be showing the main dashboard, which is probably what you want to see. But for safety reasons, I'm not going to show the dashboard at this current point in time. Really should have live streamed something else for today, but what else could I really live stream? So you can see we are now in the 3CX instance. We've got our dashboard over there. We're not going to go there. See, we have our phones, which I haven't got, of course, as of yet. SIP trunks, haven't got that as of yet. Inbound rules, haven't got that as yet. Outbound, of course, and etc., 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 etc. Anti-hacking. How nice. So, that is the install of the 3CX V18 instance. Any questions before we, well, I guess I'd say finish. But, oh yeah, updates as well. We'll have a good look at that. Let's see what's on the 3CX updates. We can automatically update. Oh, nice. I don't think I'll be doing that for this instance, but oh well. Anyway, that is the 3CX V18 install. Any questions? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Thank you very much for this amazing presentation that I've just now leaked my own public IP address. So I'm now going to go and restart my router and make sure I don't get a DDoS attack. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, by the time this video is uploaded, the IP address will be no longer valid, and we will not have a care in the world about what it says or what it even means. But anyway, any more questions before we leave? Might as well set up my first extension, no? You know what? No, we'll save that for the video. Okay, no more questions? Okay. So that was the FreeCX V18 install on this week's NTI Live, being NTI Live Episode 6. I hope you have all enjoyed this live stream. Do tune in for more content next week and a bit long and in the future as well. This has been Noah Tech Info. Thank you very much for watching. Do check out our social media links in the description. And with that, peace out.